Hello, my name is Benjamin, but you may call me Jam, and we're at a pivotal moment in history. The cutting edge of a brand new paradigm. Folks, we have combined being nerdy with being gay in order to create Exercises in Rainbow, Magic the Gathering video series where we broaden our appreciation of life's diversity. We practice expressing our truest selves through the medium of playing cards with colorful artwork. Inspired by the Magic Presents Pride events held by Wizards of the Coast, during which any two cards that can be commanders can now combo de facto with one another. So for Pride Month, we're compounding our quotidian exercises in blue by taking that 0/4 homunculus of legend and making him go kissy kissy with other commanders in order to maximize our gameplay potential and to knit one, purl two, some very funny fanfiction. Here at the halfway point of Pride Month, the zenith of June, it is high time that we pay goddamn homage to some of the originators of Pride Month here on Turtle Island, specifically femme people of color. They are superheroes of defending civil rights and sustaining culture. And when it comes to Magic card representation, we have lots of options to choose from. Hunters, inventors, vampires, pop icons, rebranded pop icons, going all the way back to the Mirage Block baddies and the legendary Spell Shapers of Prophecy, the captain of the Weatherlight herself. But in my heart of hearts, I have no choice but to honor and prefer the brainy beauty, my Quandrix queen, Zimone Wola. And specifically the brand new Zimone from Secrets of Strixhaven, because finally we have an X-Spells commander who isn't a hater and doesn't need to tap to get real paid. Unlike the quartet of co-commanders from the previous two videos, Zimone has lots of lore, so we're going to try and keep it short and strong. Zimone is a two-dad's daughter who studied at Strixhaven Academy. Her survival resume includes a blood cult of Strixhaven dropouts, the nastier Phyrexian invasion, and a moth demon controlling a living, world-sized house from the horror movie dimension. She is so intelligent that she solved a theorem that had stumped Strixhaven staff for generations, and now understands the structure of the multiverse so well, she is creating a theoretical model of it. She is also a dog mommy, but her good boy is a wolf made of math. Whew. So how do we ship the infinite analyst with the verbose host? By using a surefire romance method of having a common interest and then having a second common interest. Now that she's graduated, Zimone's in Ravnica, researching the interconnectivity of different planes. Guess who else knows a little something about that? The MC of a legendary interplanar circuit race. Maybe Zimone's studying the omen paths used by the Gearper Grand Prix. Maybe Van Wixit lands an interview with Zimone, gets to discuss future raceway locations. But where they really click is when they bump into each other at the library. Zimone, of course, is the bookiest worm to ever bookworm. Respectfully, you don't get flavor text on Rhystic Study by bringing jock energy. And as for Van Wixit, drawing cards in Magic the Gathering is represented in the artwork by reading. You can't tell me that the draw-doubling homunculus isn't a humongous fan of turning pages. He probably zips through 2 books at once. His entire head is eyeball! My point is, big readers share a love language, and no formula or equation can ever fully explain it. This is Exercises in Rainbow, so you know how it's going to go. We've got 34 of those, 15 of these, leaving 49 left to pick as we please. On the topic of them 15, you might be wondering what kind of baby queens green is bringing to the party, because the Friends of the Forest are traditionally very anti-flying. Well, we have Scrib Sprites. Yeah! We also have creatures who don't have flying and yet can only be blocked by creatures with flying or creatures with reach/flying. Scryfall's tag catalog refers to this as fake flying, which sounds disrespectful, so we need a better name for sneaky, concealed attackers. How about Skulk? Oh, wait. Maybe Shroud. Oh. Okay, fine. Time for a new vocabulary word, you lot. Brachiating. The definition: to progress by swinging your arms from hold to hold. An example: I was babysitting my neighbor's kid, and they brachiated across the monkey bars. Sound good? Anyways, we're casting X spells. Spells with an X in the casting cost. X can equal any amount. Whatever we have, whatever we want to use, anything we want. We're tapping into the raw potential power of infinity. Infinite ramping, infinite aggro, infinite protection, infinite removal, infinite card draw? Indefinite card draw. The point is, our spells are extraordinarily versatile. We're also featuring some X-cost counter magic. Works great to protect Vinwixit and Zimone when it's not our turn. Ordinarily, as you might recall, I prefer my counter spells to be more flavorful and humorous than just mere denial. The problem is that our strategy is to generate infinite energy from our academic prodigy, who then becomes increasingly kaiju-sized as a result of the infinite energy that she generates. Just in case the other players aren't exceedingly chill with this game plan, we will try to defend ourselves. Speaking of game plan, what exactly are our win conditions? Sure, we're augmenting a bunch of X-spell creatures so that they show up taller than skyscrapers. Sure, our Fem commander, if left unchecked, will eventually stunt on Scott Lang's entire family. But you know me, I'd rather win with card draw. So where's Jeff Goldblum when you need him? Now, a second ago, when I professed my love for winning with card draw, I didn't say it had to be mine. Let's rewind, back to the infinite card draw section. Here, you'll see that the majority of Zimone's card draw begins with target player. All of our discounts, all of our ramp, can just as easily be funneled offensively at the minds of our foes to deck them out. And that's if we're still obeying the rules of the singleton format. Heaven help you if the Palette and the Mind Sage have been doppelganged. And then, of course, there's Mathemagics. To my mind, the pinnacle of Quandrix shenanigans. Target player draws 2 cards to the power of X. If X equals 7, somebody will perish attempting to draw 128 cards. If the Spiralmancer is there, that's 2 somebodies. If we're flourishing as well, that's game. This kind of wildly imaginative optimism is sometimes referred to as magical Christmas land, and it is indulgent, but consider that Zimone is the leading expert on analyzing infinity. If anyone can pull it off, you know she can. Also, consider that green is a Christmas color, and Zimone understands the manipulation of time and space, and she's good with animals. I'm saying that in an emergency, Zimone can take over for Santa and save Christmas. And the loving, encouraging, ride or die Vinwixit would absolutely be her little Mrs. Claus. Dear viewers, I must be candid with you about my emotions. I'm not feeling the drive to share the next deck. I was excited for it at first. It's a blue and red deck featuring Aisling the Limitless. She's a Flamekin from the Lorwyn Shadowmoor plane. The fanfic with her and Vinwixit was going to be it was going to be Ferngully. He tries scouting for various possible sponsors on Lorwyn Shadowmoor. She tries to convince him to leave the plane alone by showing off its natural beauty to him. There's still a queer couple. The only thing mask about Vinwixit are his pronouns. And Aisling definitely has the vibes of a woman who is technically pansexual or omnisexual, but she's been using the phrase bisexual for so many years that in her mind they're basically just synonyms. But like, I don't know. I built this deck a month ago, and I haven't really come back to it until earlier this week. And yeah, I just don't feel anything when I look at it. I know I picked these cards on purpose. I know that I meant well. But if I really ask myself what the truth is, I know that my answer is that this isn't what I need anymore. Which, now that I think about it, is a large part of the pain and discomfort of coming out as queer. Yes, it can be terrifying to come out to other people. The stakes can be unbelievably serious. But one must first come out to oneself, and that comes with its own pain, confusion, and awkwardness. So what can we do to soothe, heal, and mitigate the suffering that comes from intense self-acceptance? Well, there's lots of things that could work in the long term, but for now, how about we impulsively hook up with a really hot guy and just see what happens? Our second co-commander for Exercises in Rainbow will be Yusri, Fortune's Flame. He is an Ifrit from Modern Horizons 2, that is not the name of a place, that's an expansion set, and he's capricious, fickle, chaotic. When he attacks, you flip some coins, anywhere from 1 to 5, your choice. Win a flip, he draws you a card. Lose a flip, he shocks you for 2 damage. You win 5 flips. For the rest of the turn, you may cast spells from your hand for free. According to the 4 sentences of his lore, the best way to benefit from his friendship is to be endlessly entertaining and just keep up with his antics, mitigating the intense risks with the exultant rewards. Sounds like he and Vinwixit are 2 bold boys who are going to get along just fine. It's the risk we all must take. This is Exercises in Rainbow, so you know how it's going to go. We've got 34 of those, 15 of these, leaving 49 spots left to pick as we please. Mono Red Baby Queens include a couple of genuine flyers. Well, 1 flyer and 1 jumping gal. We got this menacing hottie holding down the Aether Drift representation. And we got a couple of pingers, just some 1-drop goblins who spit hot... nope. That's a Dave Chappelle line. That joke is disqualified. And good riddance. Speaking of ridding ourselves of things that no longer meaningfully contribute to our lives, this deck has one quick, crazy, simple, silly, zany, manic, frantic plan. Flip coins to draw cards and win, or combust in a self-igniting chain reaction of poor fortune. AKA, keep Balatroing and nobody explodes. We got a couple of protection pieces, we got some ramp so this doesn't take all day. We have Krark's Thumb, which doubles our chance to win coin flips, and we have a couple of tutors to help put the thumb into our hand, or on the battlefield. But our primary goal, the one we're aiming for, is to send Yusri with red-hot light blazing in his eyes, scorching across the sky at somebody. And then we say the number 5. Now with the thumb in play, that's a roughly 1 in 5 chance of getting all 5 coin flips in a row. 23 point something %. Maybe we'll fall just short, but still draw a bunch of cards, which get doubled by Vinwixit. Maybe we'll crash and burn, and Yusri will 2 us into oblivion. Or maybe we'll win the game on the spot. I've seen several comments online that most Yusri decks aren't able to convert that free casting ability into an eventual win. I wouldn't know anything about that. You let Vinwixit cast spells for free, he's gonna do what he does best. Pick up every card in the deck, give Jeff Goldblum a high five, and just second line out of there. Couple of awesome mentions. We got a few redirect spells in case somebody's trying to be cheeky while we're in the middle of our big dramatic finish. If Dr. Ian Malcolm does get the hardest veto, we also have Chance Encounter. We can just cash in 10 coin flip wins for 1 commander game win. That's a nice exchange rate. Plenty of other silly ways to flip coins. We got Stitch in Time, Fiery Gambit, the Battle Bond squad of Zindersplit and Okan. I do personally ship Zindersplit and Vinwixit, but alas, it's just not gay enough for Pride Month. Red looting, red wheels, blue wheels. Oh my gold. With red in the color identity of this deck, we can finally bring in the Whirlpool Warrior. The family is back together again. I am crying on the inside. Last but not least, Edgar is here to sit in the cuck chair. Because Edgar's ability lets Yusri auto-win all 5 of his coin flips, we will never be summoning him unless we've already succeeded at Yusri's ultimate ability. The goal of this deck is not efficiency. The goal is fun. And what's fun is winning 5 coin flips with the help of a legendary goblin's lucky legendary thumb, waterfalling our whole deck only for Edgar to show up fashionably late and win not by cheating with coin flips, but with artifact card draw. And that's it. That's all the deck needs to be. And that's fine. It feels great. So much better to go where my heart says I should go. So much better to follow the energy, the creative energy, wherever it leads. You could call it pivoting, you could call it anything. Your body notices when you stop living a distracted, unexamined life and start being not even your best self, just your truest self in the present moment. Links to both decks will live down in the video description. If you have suggestions for them, I am all ears, metaphorically. If you like the Zimone deck but you can't get away with double commanders, I have mono blue replacements for all of the cards outside of Vinwixit's color identity. Just click the link in the description, you'll see them in the sideboard. Or you could just shuffle Vinwixit into the 99. That works just as well. If you like the Yusri deck but can't get away with double commanders, find a new friend group. I'm medium serious about that. There's so many people in this packed world. Somebody is bound to be on the same wavelength as you are, and you can have fun together. And sometimes it doesn't work, and that hurts. But sometimes it does work, and you profit from that. Just like Yusri's coin flip ability. That's enough exercises in Rainbow for one mighty morning. Next week approaches apace. And until then, you may still call me Jam. And for those of you who are watching and or listening, I thank you for your time and attention. Mwah! Did I forget to mention what makes the Zimone relationship a queer relationship? This is, of course, entirely based on vibes, and very much subject to change. That's why I'm tossing these ideas out on silly internet videos, and not chiseling them into slabs of concrete. Yeah, Zimone and Vinwixit, I'm getting demisexual from their relationship. Not that bookworms can't be outrageously horny, it's just that she seems so caught up in the plot that's leading to Reality Fracture, the set that's getting released in October. Who knows? Once the dust is settled and Zimone has brought peace to the multiverse by transcending the laws of reality, like if World Record had an actual happy ending, maybe she'll have the chance to finally explore and kindle her own inner passions. But until then, I feel like she's just an embodiment of that one meme, or I guess a paraphrase of that one meme. I'm probably non-binary, but I have to stop Jace from copying the multiverse, so I don't really care about that right now.